All right, I'm going to call the Museum Committee to order, and I'll remind everybody it's your responsibility to declare a pecuniary interest if you have one. We have one action item and several information items, so we'll start with the action item on the roofing project. Kathy.
Okay, thank you. So Council will recall in earlier this year, we had submitted a RFQ, a request for quotation for the roofing project on the 1878 schoolhouse. And earlier, Council had also agreed to use funds from the Tax Stabilization Fund to do a matching of funds for our submission to the Canadian Cultural Spaces Fund for this project. So we have successfully been able to get funding from the Canadian Cultural Spaces Fund in the amount of $15,000 towards the project. So this obviously still leaves a bit of a shortfall. We had submitted a letter of intent to the Community Foundation, Great Bruce, their capital stream as well for this project, and they did indicate to us that the project was of interest, so the next stage would be to submit a full application to them, that application will go in September 5th, and we hope to hear back from Community Foundation on the project mid-October. Keeping in mind that we're starting to get into the fall season, the winter season, the Canadian Cultural Spaces Grant has a completion date of March 31st, 2018, because it is a federal grant, and the Community Foundation one is similar in that time frame as well. So what we are requesting is further use of the Tax Stabilization Reserve account to pay for the shortfall, and that any funds that we would receive in regards to, if we are successful through the Canadian Community Foundation Grey Bruce grant, that we could utilize those funds to the project.
Thanks, Kathy. I'll just read this in and get a mover and seconder, and then we'll open it up. The related expenditures for the 1878 schoolhouse roofing project be funded through the Tax Stabilization Reserve to complete the project in the fall of 2018. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Mike, seconded by Bob. Any discussion on this? Go ahead, big guy.
Well, thanks for that, but I guess I've always suggested that we own the building, we need to maintain them, but is this the little log schoolhouse behind the museum?
No, this is the 1878 schoolhouse.
Well, I'm glad you clarified that. I feel better now. The roof of that.
It's the cedar roof on the 1878 schoolhouse, which is a heritage building, so we need to comply with those type of maintaining the aesthetics and the look of the building as well.
Yes, go ahead.
One more question there. Hey, so the shingles, you got to put the roof on 28,000. I can understand that, but were they put on when we renovated the whole building, like with the new build 13, 14 years ago?
No, it was previous to that. I believe it was during, and I'd have to go back, but it was at least 20, 25 years ago that the roofing was done on the 1878 schoolhouse. You're welcome. Okay.
Anybody else? I'm really surprised too at 43,000. I mean, 28 is just the shortfall. $43,000 for a roof.
Well, the total project is 86,620, and that was the lowest bid of the 3 quotes that we had in the RFQ earlier this year.
Wow. Alrighty.
The other bids were much higher.
We're in the wrong business, kids.
So we're at 86,000 for the roof?
86,620. Okay. Yeah.
Are there any other questions or comments? All in favor? Opposed? That's carried.
Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead, Kathy.
So the other items are just as way of update, and again, the business and sponsorship report. We continue to make sure that we are following up and making our commitments towards the sponsorship revenue for the budget. So as you can see, we're basically tracking well 95% of revenue for our programs and exhibits, and the target revenue is tracking for our grants at about 37%. So there are a number of applications that are still pending and some that have been approved, but basically we still are committed to making those projects happen through the use of sponsorship and grant funds. Our education and outreach report, just a bit of a recap there on the Kids Camp program You can see our campers there, and on our junior volunteer program, which continues to be an important part of our focus with the educational programming. And then some upcoming events. So again, we'll start the preschool programs in the fall. Us with school back out, we'll do more school programming, and our education coordinator, who has an extensive arts background, is starting a new program called Art Afternoon for children between the ages of 5 and 10. Marketing report, again, just a little bit of a wrap up from the summer. There's some pictures there from the Marine Heritage Festival, and as well as an outline of the different activities that our summer marketing student took place in, and was throughout the county at a variety of different outreach activities. And of course, upcoming is our newest exhibit, which is a show called Powell Emanations, which is opening on September 15th through an artist out of the Owen Sound area, and also he has residence up on the peninsula and a permanent home in London as well. So hopefully you'll all be able to come out to that opening. And then a programming report, again, a little bit of a recap on our programming. Lots of on-floor activities this year with many different demonstrators. The WI, the Women's Institute, was out as well. And again, upcoming programs. So our Chapter 55, with this is the Recreation for Retirees program, is funded through the New Horizons for Seniors program, and that's another way to engage seniors, developing workshops that they would particularly be interested in, and we've been successful with funding on that program for several years. And then the next entertainment kind of program will be our Brews and Bites, which is our annual beer tasting. And then the last item that we have is something that's kind of new for your attention in regards to the revenue development report. With our new development officer in place, she has kind of relaunched a program that we had a little while ago, but it's our Have a Seat campaign. And basically we have, as you all are aware, a large theater in the museum. So we're looking to have people purchase a seat. They can purchase it for themselves, mark a special anniversary as a gift in memoriam, and that will go directly into our donation line. And currently, when the report was written, since the launch of the campaign, 13 seats were sold. So we have a ways to go, but keep in mind their tax receipts for those donations and great gifts. Okay, and that is the end of the museum report.
Thank you, Kathy. Are there any questions to any of these reports? Anne?
I just wanted to say to Kathy and the staff that came last night to King Cardin Council, I think it's beneficial going around to the different municipalities to remind them of what the museum has to offer, and that's worth the drive to Southampton from all of Bruce County to see the museum. And especially when we have a lot of new people moving in, you know, they're not familiar with the levels of government or anything, and if it doesn't exist close by, they sometimes don't know what's available. So thank you very much. It was an excellent presentation and update.
Well, thank you. It was our pleasure to be there, and as all of the mayors know, we're doing delegations over the next few weeks, so we'll be at your council meeting shortly, and we also have a lot of plans for next year in regards to do more county outreach, so that we're building that county-wide awareness, so that municipalities see the museum as their museum as well. You're welcome.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, we have the act and recommendation. Could I have a mover and a seconder for that? Anne? And Wilf, oh God, I called him Wilf.
Dan.
Sorry?
Dan.
Yeah, Dan, I'm sorry. I apologize. All in favor? Thanks. We have a next meeting on October the 4th. Motion to adjourn. Milt and Mike, all in favor? Thank you, we're adjourned.
Okay.